I have been on the road every single week for the past 2 or so months, traveling to 5 different states and a number of cities ranging from Austin to my sweet girlfriend's little college town in Central California. And I know, first world problems, I get it, like life could be way worse. And you probably think I'm insane for complaining about this, and you're honestly probably a little bit right, but seriously, hear me out because I guarantee this is a problem you've never considered before. First off, and I'm starting out bold here, but who in their right mind likes to be crammed in a massive flying object for hours at a time, where you're not exactly forced to be quiet, but if you talk louder than a whisper, you're disturbing the rest of the couple hundred people on the same flight. Not to mention, the seats are absolutely atrocious to sit in for longer than 2 hours. And if you're taller than 5'7", forget about being comfortable in the slightest. That is, unless your daddy is Jeff Bezos, you get to fly first class or even private. But for the rest of us common folk, you understand where I'm coming from. So it all started 2 years ago on a trip to Italy with my girlfriend, and back then I didn't really have money like I do now. Not like I got it like that these days, but anyways. We penny pinched as much as we could on the flight so, you know, we could splurge on excursions and Airbnbs, which makes perfect sense until we settled for a 17-hour layover in Copenhagen, Denmark. To paint a better picture, we flew out of Rome to Copenhagen, which is like a 3-hour flight, and then yeah. Initially, we were like, oh, you know, it's on the way home, we're gonna be tired anyways, so like, why not explore the city for just a couple hours? I also remembered I had a friend in Copenhagen, and you know, I thought I'd just hit him up, we'd hang out, and before you know it, we'd be on our way back home to California. Fast forward to when we actually got to the airport, we checked in our bags, hung out with my boy Ho for a few hours, and sat in the airport for 12 hours. Nothing was open, had nowhere to go, and we just sat there. And yes, I know, we did this to ourselves, but holy smokes, this has to be up there with one of the worst experiences of my entire life. Although the trip itself remains some of my favorite memories of my life so far. Spending immense quality time with one of the people who mean the most to me in this world by far outweighs the brutal traveling experience we endured. Not to mention, after we thugged out that layover, we still had a 12-hour flight till we got home. As you can probably imagine, we weren't very happy campers, but clearly we didn't care about the long flight all that much because we went back to Europe the next year in 2023. Although this time you can guarantee we paid extra just to make sure we didn't have any layovers longer than a couple hours. Nonetheless, as of the past 2 or so years, I've definitely taken my fair share of flights around the world, going to places like Italy, Paris, Germany, Mexico multiple times, and all over the United States. But I want to make known that I don't consider myself a travel influencer or whatever you want to call it. I travel because of either work or really just want to experience new cultures and dive into different ways of life. Like, most of these trips either come out of my pocket or are considered business trips for the company I work for. So along with this big boy job I have, I also have dreams of making an impact on an audience of people going through life in a similar path as I am. Hence why I'm even creating this video in the first place. So now thinking about it, isn't that the definition of an influencer? Besides the fact, at the beginning of this year, I promised myself I would be uploading 36 videos before December 31st. Up until the beginning of April, I was right on par with this goal, uploading a video every 10 or so days. Fast forward to today, I've uploaded like 3 videos in the past 2 or so months, which in my mind is brutally unacceptable. My dream for as long as I can remember was to be a YouTuber, and not one of these dancing cringy TikTokers, but actually somebody who spreads valuable information on their experiences going through life. But also another dream I had as a child was to travel the world, experience life from different perspectives, and immerse myself in cultures unique to what I'm already comfortable with. And my biggest problem with traveling is that it puts me behind on my main goal of becoming a YouTuber. Although after zooming out and assessing my situation as a whole, I am actually accomplishing both of my childhood dreams, even though it's not really everything I imagined. I never considered the actual logistics of living a life like this. For example, I live about 30 miles away from the Los Angeles airport. The drive can take anywhere between 40 minutes and 4 hours. Now I have to ask myself, oh, am I gonna spend $200 to park my car for the couple days I'm leaving? Or put someone through the insane inconvenience of driving me there and picking me up after my trip? Also, you gotta consider going through TSA and selling a kidney for for airport food, and like I said previously, getting stuffed in a massive flying object with a couple hundred other people just plain out sucks. I've gone through this process 5 times in the past 2 months, and it feels like I've literally lost years off my life with all of the stress that goes into it. Not to mention my dang goal of uploading 36 videos this year, which becomes increasingly difficult when I'm always on the road traveling. Regardless, if you're a normie like myself, it's kind of hard not to notice that in this digital world we live in, more and more of our youth are aspiring to become influencers, who travel the world, buy designer clothes, live in content houses, and whatever else comes with living as an influencer. But also, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a dream life I'd like to live as well. Like, realistically, who doesn't want to explore the world and just film themselves doing whatever the hell it is as a career? Sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? Well, yes, it does, and I've gotten the slightest little taste of this lifestyle, and it really isn't all sunshine and rainbows. All in all, if you got anything from watching the past couple minutes of this video, traveling absolutely sucks. But also, I'd like to point out that once you get to the destination that you're traveling to, that's where the fun begins. Especially when you're on a trip to somewhere you've never been with people who you're excited to share the experience with. So my final message here is suck it up, book that plane ticket, and just go. Whether it's alone, with your grandma, your coworkers, whatever it is, just go. You'll be so happy you did. And in reality, I'm going to continue to travel and live the life that I want to live regardless of any sort of inconveniences. So I insist that you do too. You'll be so much happier that way.